we had a mandatory course on competitive programming in our university.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So it's Saturday and again we are back with a very fresh interview experience, and in this video we are going to present the interview experience of India's growing edtech startup, that is Vedantu. And to share that experience with us we have Sarthak 𝗏𝗏. He is working as a software engineer at Vedantu. First he grabbed off-campus internship in Vedantu and then he got converted into the full-time role. So guys, यहाँ पर एक बात बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है जो कि जानने वाली है कि सार्थक के कॉलेज में ऑन कैंपस ड्राइव्स के लिए भी कंपनीज आती थी, इसलिए वाज वेरी कीन फॉर द ऑफ कैंपस अपॉर्चुनिटीज सिंस वेरी बिगिनिंग। एंड इस पूरी जर्नी में लिंक्डइन ने उनको बहुत ही ज्यादा हेल्प करा। बिकॉज ऑफ दिस लिंक्डइन ही वाज एबल टू ग्रैब दिस ऑफ कैंपस अपॉर्चुनिटी विद वेदांतु। ऑल्सो ही ग्रैब्ड वन ऑफर फ्रॉम फूडपांडा सिंगापुर। यस गाइस, बिकॉज ऑफ द लिंक्डइन ही वाज एबल टू गेट दीज नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज। तो सार्थक ने पूरा इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस हमारे साथ शेयर करा है वेदांतु का, कि क्या पूरा प्रोसेस होता है, क्या क्वेश्चंस थे, कैसे राउंड्स हैं, एंड कैसे लिंक्डइन ने उनको हेल्प करा, कैसे लिंक्डइन के थ्रू उनको ये नेशनल इंटरनेशनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिली, कैसे वो प्रिपेयर करते थे कोडिंग के लिए, कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग के लिए, प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए, क्या सारे वो टिप्स एंड एडवाइसेस फॉलो करते थे, रिसोर्सेज फॉलो करते थे। एंड उन्होंने बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बुक के बारे में भी बताया जिसके थ्रू उनको हेल्प मिली थी इंटरव्यू के एटमॉस्फेयर और नेचर को समझने में। तो वीडियो देखना गाइस पूरा एंड तक, बहुत ही हेल्पफुल होगा। आई एम प्रीटी श्योर, बिकॉज जो टिप्स बताई वो मुझे इवन बहुत यूजफुल लगी। सो जो फ्रेशर्स हैं जो एटलीस्ट ऑफ कैंपस अपॉर्चुनिटीज को टारगेट कर रहे हैं, दे कैन लर्न समथिंग फ्रॉम दिस वीडियो एंड दिस इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस। सो वॉच दिस टिल द एंड, एंड अच्छा लगे तो लाइक करो, कुछ बुरा लगे तो डिसलाइक करो, जो कुछ भी हो, जो कुछ इंप्रूवमेंट हो, जो अच्छा लगे वो कमेंट्स में बताओ। एंड चैनल पे न्यू हो तो फटाफट सब्सक्राइब करके नोटिफिकेशन बेल दबा देना, सो दैट आने वाले इसी तरीके के अच्छे इंटरव्यूज की नोटिफिकेशन टाइम से मिलती रहे। सो फटाफट अब चलते हैं इंटरव्यू सेशन की तरफ। हाय सार्थक, वेलकम ऑन माय चैनल एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर शोइंग योर इंटरेस्ट फॉर दिस सेशन। सो लेट्स क्विकली स्टार्ट विद आवर क्वेश्चन आवर पार्ट। एज यूजुअल, फर्स्ट आई वुड आस्क यू टू क्विकली इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ।
So hi Shashank, it's very glad to be here. So my name is Sarthak. I recently graduated from Lovely Professional University, Punjab, and I'm currently working as a software engineer at Vedantu. And previously I was interning at HackerRank as a software engineering intern, and I was a part of Google Summer of Code at Wikimedia too.
Thanks Sarthak for introducing yourself. And next question is, how did you get this interview opportunity with Vedantu and how did you apply for that?
So I guess the best way to apply for full-time roles is to get an internship. So I guess the conversion rate is pretty high, and because for a full-time employee you have a lot of expectations, but interns, so they look for that you have such understanding, and they want to know that you that much culturally fit. So what happened is I was a little bit active on LinkedIn, so I had a bunch of connections at Vedantu and other companies too, but I applied I asked them, is there any internal opportunities for internship? So they looked at my profile and they said that okay, you have done some previous internships before, and in startups they want people to be so that they could give you less training and you can cope up with that, right? Ramp up phase would be very less, so they wanted people who know development and all, so they referred me and the interview process started from there.
Please share the complete interview process of Vedantu, about the interview rounds, the questions and the important topics. Please share the entire process with us.
So when I got the confirmation that I got referred from Vedantu, they said that you will be getting the interview test link in 1 or 2 days. Fortunately, I got the test link after 3 hours, and I attempted the question while I was in HackerRank itself. So there was 3 questions. One was a simple string manipulation question. Second was the group anagram problem from LeetCode, direct question from LeetCode. And the third question was delete the nth node from the end of the linked list. So these are like common interview problems they asked in our online test. So this is the first online test. Next day I got the call that I got shortlisted for the interview. So they told me that you have 1 week to study and you can go over every concept. So the second round was data session algorithm round. So the interview started with a question merge case sorted list. So the direct question, again directly question from LeetCode. If you have done a lot of questions, definitely this is a common interview problem that everyone must have faced. And the second question was a simple DP question, the variation of coin change problem. I was able to explain the solution in required time. And in that day itself, I had the last interview too. This round was mostly computer science fundamentals and design round. So they wanted to know that how well you understand things. The interviewer actually explicitly told me that they don't want to see any code and all. So they just want to know that how much you know about systems, because you'll be working on things. They just want to know that you know what is server is, what is client is, how theoretically you are strong. And they asked me some like basic system design fundamental questions like what is vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, concepts like do you know what is queue, what is asynchronous things, how do you process things asynchronously, what's your idea about it. So let's say you are using Paytm and you are booking a ticket, there is a race condition for ticket, how do you handle it, some database queries, some operating system questions, like overall system design, like computer science fundamentals. So yeah, this round was pretty well. So after that went well, and after 4 days I got to know that I got the internship offer.
First, you interned with Vedantu and then grabbed pre-placement offer from there. So please share those advices, best tips and tricks with our viewers to convert an internship opportunity into a full-time offer.
First thing is to communicate, obviously. So because there are a lot of experienced developer out there, they have faced the same problem maybe you are going to face. So the first thing is to communicate, because you don't know a lot of things as an intern, but you are there because you want to learn and you have the basic understanding to learn actually. They don't expect you to know a lot of things, but so the first thing would be to communicate with your mentors. If you have any problems, directly reach out to them. Just give me the resource that I need to do this work. So let's say you got the first task. So obviously they will first train you. So let's say they are working on Node.js or working on Java or Go. So they'll definitely tell you that these are our services you are going to work on. So just learn it, and they will give you resources. Because in startups, the environment is pretty fast. You have to go like you have to learn a lot of things in a very short span of time. So what they will do is they'll give you the exact resources you need to perform your tasks better, right? And the second thing would be like if you are asking something, first do your research. If you haven't done any research, you are directly reached out to him that okay, I'm directly facing this problem, this error, without googling it. So it will have a negative impact, because if the error is available on Stack Overflow, they will search that and they'll find that the first link is the solution. So it does have a negative impact actually. So you have to search, research, and then reach out to them, because there is no such thing as, because if you are getting the first or second task, so they know that this is the first task, it can be late, it won't impact actually. If you do a research and you can say that I researched it but I didn't found it, can you help me out? So they'll definitely help out. And the third thing is group involvement. Whenever they're discussing problems, try to involve in that group discussion that I know about these things. And if you hear something that you don't know, just ask them, you guys are discussing about these things, I didn't know but I found it very interesting, can you just tell me so that I can learn, and I'm very much interested. Try to be interested in group discussions and all. So yeah, as an intern, your work is to learn as much as you could. So they will know that this guy is actually willing to learn. So if you just give him a right path, he'll definitely do better. Yeah.
You had an offer from FoodPanda Singapore, so I would like to know it from you that what are the good international opportunities are available for the freshers in India, and the most important part is how to look and hunt for these international career opportunities.
So when I was graduating, at the end of the graduation, LinkedIn is the holy grail for searching for internships, jobs, and all, right? So in LinkedIn, recruiters from Singapore, mostly Singapore, there are a lot of companies that actively hire international people, mostly fresh graduates also. They want to have cultural diversity in their team. So in Singapore, like I saw a lot of recruiters, like because post getting tagged and tagged, you have a lot less. This is the benefit of having a lot of connections. So you have connections, they like the post, you get recommendation of that post, right? So what happened is most of the connections were like searching for jobs, and I was following a lot of people on LinkedIn. So I got a post that Shopee is also hiring, FoodPanda Singapore was also hiring. So I reached out to one of the recruiter that, hey, I'm interested in this opportunity. Can you tell me how to apply for that? So he directly sent me the there was a link to apply for that. I applied for that. I applied through that link. I got the email that hey, your profile got shortlisted, and this is the online test for that. And yeah, it's like LinkedIn is the best way to apply for jobs. Most of the Singapore companies usually hire through this social media platforms. So I applied through LinkedIn.
Okay, Sarthak, so you have a very impressive background. First, you interned with HackerRank and you were Google Summer of Code for Wikimedia and many more. So how it all started basically? When you entered into the college, then after that, how did you get to know about these things? How did you participate it and cracked it?
So when I joined college, I had no background in computer science. I didn't even know about programming languages. So in the first year, I get introduced to programming, introduction to C programming. But the thing is, I didn't know how to apply, like how to actually learn it. I was just learning languages, a lot of languages. This is the mistakes that everyone does. Like learning a lot of languages would definitely look cool, but this definitely doesn't help you if you know a lot of languages. Actually, it's unnecessary actually if you know a lot of languages. This definitely confuses you in syntaxes. I was just learning in the first year. I was just learning languages, doing my computer science fundamentals and all. In second year, I get introduced to data structures and algorithms, but I was not active in competitive programming. But I was learning data structure and algorithm, but I didn't know about that the competitive programming will help you. I was like, competitive programming questions are pretty like big questions. You have to go through it and solve a problem. Instead of that, I was just learning data structure and solving common problems on gigs for gigs and all. But I was not preparing for interviews that time. One of the things that helped me actually at the end of the second year, under the second year, we had a like mandatory course on competitive programming in our university. Introduction to competitive programming and prelude to competitive programming. This was like a mandatory course for students. So they divided into to students for product based companies and service based companies. So people who want to go to product based company, they could give a test and go into that batch, and you have to learn it as a subject, and this will definitely impact on your CGPA because this is a high grade subject actually. So this helped me actually. I had to learn it. So this helped me. I practiced a lot of things. I learned a lot of things from those academies. I started up competitive programming actually like on code forces while I was in internship. And before that, I was practicing on HackerRank, 𝗖𝗄𝗧 and like lit code in my third year. I didn't have any project. So what I thought of is, okay, I heard of something called a Google Summer of Code from my senior. And the thing is, that time I learned what is GitHub, how to make a pull request, everything about open source. And the main thing I would advise is to write documentation for things actually. So this will help you write your proposals better. I had no projects, but I thought of, okay, let's just do open source. If I get selected, I don't have to worry about projects. It will definitely help my resume. So I applied for that. I wrote a good recommendation. I go through a lot of Medium posts, how to write recommendations. So I applied for that and got the opportunity that I got selected for Google Summer of Code. I did my project, successfully completed Google Summer of Code. And I had struggled, like my pull request got rejected a lot of time. I learned a lot, Googled a lot. I asked a lot of people like, how to do it. Yeah, but I did it. And this made a very good, like positive impact on my resume. And the next part would be for HackerRank internship. Like in my university, there are a lot of like on-campus opportunities too. But I thought of applying off campus to explore on myself. So what I thought of is I applied through careers page of HackerRank. Fortunately, I got shortlisted because of I had done Google Summer of Code. So this actually helped me like got shortlisted for the interview. So yeah, like it's just process started from there. Yeah.
So Sarthak, can you please share your strategy, learning roadmap and useful resources with our viewers which you followed since very beginning and which helped you to crack these good companies? Because we all know there are lots of things, lots of platforms which we can refer, but we would like to know it from you what specific things you followed.
So as I said, I was not an active competitive programmer, but I started programming ironically in when I was in internship, and then I get a decent rating on code forces. But the thing is, before that, what I studied that helped me get my internship at HackerRank is that I started off with solely basics of data structures and algorithms. In my third year, I started with the basics actually. हम लोग क्या करते हैं ना, like when we start learning, so we do a lot of mistakes. So what are the mistakes that we do is, so let's say I'm solving a problem on linked list, right? But I don't know how to traverse a linked list. So I'll be getting stuck, right? Because if I don't know, let's say I'm starting a question on tree, but I don't know how to traverse a tree. Like I'm not able to go to every nodes. I don't know how to traverse to like each node of the tree. This will definitely, I'll get stuck at the problem because you don't know how to traverse a data structure. So the first thing I made a strategy is that I will learn the basic operations of data structures, like how to create, insert, traverse of data structure of all important data structure. I learned it, then I attempted questions. Because if you know how to traverse a data structure, you can manipulate data, right? You can manipulate data and you can like do operations on it and have some simple logic to solve a problem. Because if you don't know the basics, then you definitely get stuck at problems, right? So, and the next thing was for algorithms part, so for algorithm part, you should know what is basics, like the basics of algorithms like binary search, sorting, dynamic. Like you don't have to directly jump into dynamic programming, greedy and all. Just start with the basic sorting and binary search algorithms. So the mistake that I was doing is like I always believe is like fail as fast as you could. So what I was doing is, let's say I saw a problem. I was not able to solve it. What I did is I saw the solution and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But that shouldn't be the scene, right? So let's say मैंने क्वेश्चन पढ़ा और क्वेश्चन पढ़ा नहीं सॉल्व कर पाया, मैंने सॉल्यूशन देख लिया. अब मैंने सॉल्यूशन देखा तो मैंने टेस्ट केस चला के देख लिया, ओके ये सॉल्यूशन तो सेंस कर रहा है, राइट. तो ये तो गलत अप्रोच है एक्चुअली. हमें ये क्वेश्चन आस्क नहीं करना चाहिए कि सॉल्यूशन सही है, लेकिन हमें ये सोचना है कि ये क्वेश्चन किसी और ने देखा, पूरा ग्राउंड से कैसे उसने सॉल्व किया, वो मैं कैसे सीखूं. ये एक्चुअली गलत क्वेश्चन हम पूछते हैं कि सॉल्यूशन देख लेते हैं और लाइक सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, हाँ ये सॉल्यूशन तो मेक सेंस कर रहा है, मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ, बट वहां से हम कुछ लर्न नहीं करते. इफ यू सॉल्व अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चन एंड इवन इफ यू डोंट नो द क्वेश्चन बट यू सॉ द सॉल्यूशन एंड यू लर्न फ्रॉम इट, यू लर्न सम पैटर्न on it, definitely help you in next question. So it was like I was solving a lot of questions. When I was looking for solution, I was actually learning it. It's not like I was just seeing the solution and submitting the question. I was actually learning it and noting it down if I learned something. I was maintaining a note that I learned this pattern. अगर अरे सॉर्टेड है तो मुझे बाइनरी सर्च ही लगानी है, यही सब चीजें मैंने एक्चुअली लर्न करा था. हर एक क्वेश्चन जब सॉल्व करा था कुछ पैटर्न हमेशा सीखने मिलती थी. सो फॉर रिसोर्सेस, so what I recommend is I followed the for interviews while I was actually interviewing, because let's say you are very good competitive programmer, you can write code whatever you are thinking, but the thing is you clear the test but you are not able to explain your solution. So the main thing in interview is that communication. Whenever interviewer asks me the question, I directly jump into coding it and explaining it. Before that, I was not explaining my solution that this is the solution that I'm going to write. I was directly jumping into the code, and this was the ground for rejection. Actually, interviews is like a different skill set, right? I followed the Cracking the Coding interview book. This is one of the best book that I have learned from that. The approach is how do you actually approach the scenario. The book is written by like the Google and Amazon engineer. He know like how to like explain a solution. This is actually a very good skill. If you can explain your solution, you can add a value to the team. If you are explaining your approach as an interviewer, what they are going to judge is like readability. The code that you are writing should be able to read, understandability, right? So the code should be readable, and the second thing is correctness, and the third thing is efficiency, right? You don't have to worry about efficiency in the first case. And why I said that correctness is in the second place is that even if your selection is correct, but it is not adapt to change, this is actually a big problem. There would be a follow-up question on that approach. You can't change the code. And the next thing would be how to be strong at that is that I followed 𝗖𝗵𝗃𝗃. There is a lot of like questions on 𝗖𝗵𝗃𝗃. How to be strong at coding is that not just learning a language. It's like write a lot of brute force solution. You'll be getting good at coding because of brute force solution. It's like whatever the question is saying, you are writing the code according to that, right? There is no such efficient approach to that. Brute force is all about just reading the question and writing the solution, whatever the question is saying, right? And the third thing I follow is litcode.com. Litcode is like the code forces and codeship will help you better at competitive programming and online tests. But Litcode does have very common questions, and you can sort it by companies and topics. And these questions are really like asked by most of the companies actually. Maybe a variation of that, but this will help you better at algorithms and all.
Okay, Sarthak, so I will wrap up this session with one last and important question. In the very beginning, we used to dream for big tech giant companies, but let's say unfortunately someone was not able to crack it. Then what does it mean? Is it the end of everything? Is it the end of every dream? Because this happened with me as well, and every year it happens with so many freshers and students. So I would like to know your thoughts about this topic.
So to be honest, I was also one of them. Obviously, when I was in college, I was dreamed of FAANG companies, and I also landed interviews at one of those companies. But the thing is, like when I was graduating, I just knew that if you don't work for these companies, that means this is the end of the world. Actually, this was actually my thinking also when I was in college. But the thing is, there are actually a lot of companies where you can actually grow and learn yourself. It's not just like if you work for a FAANG company, you will only learn from there. I know that like because of the hefty packages and all, this actually impresses a lot of people. But is that companies are now paying a lot of like good compensation as good companies, and you should definitely. It's not like only great engineers works at that company, because it's like there are a lot of engineers out there, and there are a lot of companies, right? Different companies are solving different problems. So you'll definitely find a lot of new problems that you haven't faced before. So there is always a scope to learn. And there is nothing like if you work for these companies only, will learn a lot, and this is not the end of the world. Obviously, you can, let's say you can join as a SDE1, but you joined a startup, you learned a lot of things, and you can join as a SDE2. You can do that, right? It's just like it is not the end of the world. You can learn, you can definitely join and learn anywhere you want, because everyone is solving a problem, and this will definitely help you good at it.
Thank you, Sarthak. Thank you very much for sharing those wonderful insights, sharing the complete interview process of Vedantu, and whatever advices, tips and resources you have shared with our viewers. I'm pretty sure this is going to help them to prepare for their off-campus opportunities. Now they will also know the importance of LinkedIn and how to better utilize it. So thank you very much for giving your valuable time and sharing your experience with us. Thanks a lot, Sarthak.
I was glad to be here, and definitely it was great actually.
So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope Sarthak के साथ ये वाला इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस आपको बहुत पसंद आया होगा, जो भी चीजें उन्होंने शेयर करी, एंड जो इंपॉर्टेंट टिप आपको पता लगी हो इस वीडियो से कमेंट में वो जरूर बताना, एंड कुछ एडवाइस हो मेरे लिए तो डेफिनेटली उसको कमेंट में डालना मत भूलना। एंड चलते हुए लास्ट में यही, अच्छा लगे तो लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर मार देना। सो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट सैटरडे अगेन एक अच्छे फ्रेश इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस के साथ में। तब तक के लिए आराम से घर में बैठो एंड मजे करो।